All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is just an amazing story. I think in the last 24 years, she's written about 24 books, and I mean that seriously, literally. She has a brand new one out with a great title. She has a new act. She's going to be back on stage in Las Vegas. She has a new ThighMaster with a twist, which you'll find out about in just a second as well. I'm talking about the one and only Suzanne Somers. Let's watch vintage Suzanne.
Great legs.
Thank you. I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found ThighMaster.
That was almost 25 years ago, and I'm still using it because it works.
You just put it between your knees and squeeze. It strengthens and tones those hard-to-reach muscles for sexy hips and thighs. And now, ThighMaster has a surprise. It vibrates.
All right, I don't know how anybody could watch that and not say, all right, give me one. And joining us here is Suzanne Somers, author, brand new book, Tox-Sick. Get it? Tox-Sick, from toxic to not sick. And I don't know how you could sell anybody anything in my book. How are you? Great to see you again.
If all else fails, show your legs.
There you go. There you go. All right, well, lots to talk about. First of all, you were great on Dancing with the Stars.
You.
Everybody's talking about you, even though last week you were voted off, but you were fantastic.
Yes,
so.
and I was happy with being on 5 weeks. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life. You know, I can do the salsa at a wedding with 2 tequilas, and I'm really good at it.
I bet.
The salsa with Dancing with the Stars style is precise, and
sure.
you have to close your feet and bend your knee and straighten your leg and pull up your kneecap and hold your core in, and it was like, ah!
I don't know how you do that, train for that, and write the book and the ThighMaster and everything else you're doing and the traveling. So let's talk about the book. This is very close to your heart. You've written so many books, and I know that you said that this one just, it was cathartic. It was just flowing from you.
A few of my books, I say, write themselves.
Yeah.
I sit down on my fingers and I go like, okay, go ahead, do it. But this affected me personally. Our house burned down several years ago. Maybe I have a hard time with dates. I think 6 years ago. And we moved into a leased house up on the hill in the interim, waiting for permits, which, by the way, I'm still waiting.
Wow.
And we were there 4 years, and during those 4 years, we both started getting sick. Now, we are health nuts, as we are often criticized for being.
Right.
And my husband started getting like sinus all the time, and red eyes and watery eyes, and sneezing, and then he started having facial spasms and grimacing, like an inability to control it. And I ended up with my stomach. I'm rather thin, and I would wake
bloating?
up with, yeah, like my stomach would like blow up like a basketball at the end of the day, and I think, what did I eat? And then I ended up in the hospital in anaphylactic shock, and it was diagnosed as cancer. I'd never seen so much cancer. And it turns out, they had wanted to start me on chemotherapy that day. It turns out they were wrong. The pre-Parkinson's that they were telling my husband he had, they were wrong, and I kept saying he's too healthy to have Parkinson's. It was black mold under our house that we leased. There was an unfinished room with standing water, like Little Shop of Horrors. The black mold, the worst kind, Strachey botrytis, was climbing up in the drywall, up through the air conditioning ducts, and making us deathly sick. So once we discovered what it was, we had to leave that house like bandits, and again leave our stuff. We had it all burned before. As we were rebuilding our life, we had to leave that behind, because you can't take the moldy stuff with you. You can clean your clothes, you can wash them, but
and
sofas
this is
and things.
commonplace, probably.
Well,
right?
it's all over the place. I mean, here in in New Jersey, the Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
I interviewed the 5 top environmental doctors in the country. There are more. I can only fit 5, and this book is like going to the doctors with them, because they all gave me the best. But Dr. Shoemaker, who's a mold expert, he said, you know, those people who had the flooding, he said they think their problem is the wet building. He said their health problems haven't even begun. And having experienced it, I know it takes time and patience. We were so badly hit that it's taken us 4 years. I no longer have a basketball, but
I noticed.
what was causing that, and I think for a lot of people watching, when you have bloating and cramping and you don't know what it is, mold, candida, yeast, fungus, cancer. All are similar organisms. They thrive on one thing, and that is sugar. So it didn't matter if I was just, like one day I had a date, And that's when I started piecing it together. A date, which is a healthy food, lots of selenium.
Yeah, but it's got sugar.
Sugar, and the little organisms in there
my
go,
gosh.
yes, a happy meal, and they multiply 52 million times in a 24-hour period. So that was the basketball.
Stay where you are. I want to
Okay.
talk about what people could do about that. I
Okay.
also want to touch on the ThighMaster that we
Okay.
saw, and also talk about Las Vegas.
Yes,
because
me too.
you got a show in Vegas, the whole thing going on. All right, we're coming back with Suzanne Somers, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. Keep it tuned right here on Newsmax Television on the Steve Malzberg Show. Yeah. All right, welcome back. We're back with Suzanne Somers, her brand new book, which you have to get, Tox-Sick, From Toxic to Not Sick. And all right, so you were talking about mold, but this book isn't just about mold and the ill effects of that. This says about so much more.
The epidemic of ADD, ADHD, OCD, bipolar, schizophrenia, asthma, autism, childhood cancer, dyslexia, dyspraxia, autoimmune, lupus, fibromyalgia, it goes on. And nobody's thinking about where it's coming from. And this book follows the pathway, how the chemicals come in and get into the GI tract, eat holes through the barrier wall of your GI tract, and then it leaks out into the bloodstream, goes looking for organs of opportunity, the brain being the favorite target because they like to live in fat, and the brain is 65% fat. And a stat that I think that we have to be so alarmed about. The childhood cancer rate has risen since 1950. Listen to this. 67.1% in children. And they are born toxic now, according to the Environmental Working Group.
Common sense would dictate they would be born healthier because we have such great prenatal care compared to what we used to. We know so much more, but it's not the case.
If the mother's toxic, then the baby's
Yeah,
toxic.
yeah.
If the mother gives birth cesarean, then they're even in worse shape. And so the book
And you tell people what to do.
What to do.
Yeah, doctors to see what to do about this.
Right. These are the doctors who get what's happening. There are Western doctors stepped out of the standard of care box, and there's a whole protocol in there for detoxing. It's what we did. My husband no longer has the facial tics. He doesn't have the
That's great.
sinus. I don't have the basketball.
Yeah, that's great. No. All right, so again, Tox-Sick, one of the best titles for a book, and it tells the story of the book. It's great. It was a very clever title. Okay, we have, to your right, the ThighMaster that we saw the commercial for in the last segment, and it's. I mean, you've been on the ThighMaster for so many years, as you pointed out, but this one is different.
Well, this one vibrates, and that's good for lymphatic stimulation, and it feels good if you're, working out. You want.
Oh, so you could do that with it too, right?
You can, massage your neck and things. The ThighMaster has been so good to me because I was fired from Three's Company because I asked to be paid commensurate with the men. I was on the #1 show with the highest demographics.
So you wanted to bust the glass ceiling before Hillary ever heard of it.
I was trying. I just wanted the same, and so they wanted to make an example, so no other female would have the audacity. So I couldn't get a job after that. I mean, I couldn't. Imagine going from #1 to flatline.
Was that because of typecasting? And all that?
No, I was trouble.
All right, gotcha.
And my contract was up, so I was like I was entitled to do it, but I got the troublemaker.
Yep.
My packaging was wrong. It was Chrissy Snow. They thought they were negotiating with. It wasn't right.
Right.
So this came our way, and I said to my husband, if I front this product, and we ended up owning the product, I said, well, that ruined my career. And he's very blunt. He said, at this point, Suzanne, you don't have a career. So if you win, it's a big deal. He said, if not, it's Secret Service. So anyway, we've sold over 10 million of these, and we're out again with the ThighMaster. It's a great gift. It's great fun, and actually works. I can crack walnuts with my thighs. Be careful.
I'm staying away from that. Push the button so people can see the.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, you can hear that. Do you hear it by the microphone? Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Now, if you were doing bicep curls and you put it under here, it stimulates your lymph glands. Same thing with the groin, and a lot of women, especially women like me.
So you don't have to do that. You could do a lot of stuff with this.
Yes, it's upper body, pectorals, shoulders. It was first presented to me for upper body, and then I said, "Does it work for the inner thigh?" And the man said, "Yeah, but everybody's concerned about the upper body." And I said, "Not women, not women."
Very good. All right, so it's a ThighMaster, and people could go to. Is there a website?
ThighMaster.com or SuzanneSomers.com.
Couldn't be easier, like Tox-Sick, right?
Yeah, Tox-Sick.
All right, now, You're also, you just finished with, and I don't want to get this out of your way, you're also doing Vegas.
Isn't that fun?
Talk about the
I'm
show.
going back.
Yeah.
You know, I worked Vegas for 20 years as a headliner. In 1987, I was Female Entertainer of the Year along with Frank Sinatra, who is Male Entertainer of the Year. And then I took off the last 25 years to write all these books, 25 books. I guess I did a book a year. And I wanted to watch my grandchildren grow up, and I wanted to really bond with them. I didn't want to be one of those... 6. I didn't want to be one of those people that didn't get to know them.
Right.
So it's been an incredible time, but about a year ago I said to my husband, I really miss it. I really miss that form. So I'm at the Westgate Hotel in Las Vegas, and David Siegel is the owner of the Westgate, and he has just opened his arms. We went, you know, for the pitch meeting, and my husband brought a beautiful, you know, a brochure and pictorial. He got to page 2, and David Siegel goes, "The deal's done. What do you want?" And I said, okay.
So what are we doing, singing and dancing?
My own room. You know, I loved the Sinatra era, and they've gone to these big, extravagant shows. I want to bring it back down to a real nightclub,
Nice.
And where you can put your arm around your girl or whoever and have a couple of drinks, and I will sing, and I am charming.
Yes, you are. I will vouch for that. And if I'm ever in Vegas, I will definitely look
Please
you up.
come.
So when do you start?
May 23rd,
Great.
and if you go to SuzanneSomers.com, we've got the calendar for the next year of all the dates I'll be there,
Very
and
exciting.
you can even order tickets there. But I'm really looking forward to it.
The book, Tox-Sick, the ThighMaster Vibrato.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
and Las Vegas at the Westgate in Las Vegas. So great to see you.
So great to see you again.
Thank you
too.
very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks, we're coming back. Don't go away.